while back, I took a survey on this channel and I asked you guys what was holding you back from traveling, and an overwhelming majority said money. That's why I'm making this video with 10 ways that you can travel for free in 2022 and beyond. Most of these I have used myself, and I guarantee some of these you won't find anywhere else. So stick around for all of these suggestions because it's not the typical cookie cutter recommendations that most people give. So the first one that I have made use of several times are contests. A lot of different companies will offer travel contests, whether they be travel essays, travel articles, travel videos, which I have won. In particular, I have won several contests from Outside TV. And now, while they don't always offer a trip, what they do sometimes offer is a cash prize or a gear prize, which if you just need money to travel, you could like sell the gear on eBay or something like that. So Outside TV, particularly through their Campfire program, is one that I have made plenty of use of, but I know Lonely Planet does an annual video contest, and there's all sorts of video contests, and you just have to check that it's available to people from your country, because sometimes, like for Outside TV, for instance, it's only available to US residents. So definitely contests. Great way to travel for free. Another great free way to travel are sweepstakes. Now these are very similar to contests, except that you don't really have to do anything to enter them. You just put your email address in. So several travel magazines like Travel and Leisure or Travel Channel, I think Discovery Channel, a lot of these on their website, they'll have sweepstakes, and to enter that you just type in your email address and then you're entered in there, whatever they're giving away, $10,000 trip, a 4-night cruise, whatever it is. And those are easy enough to find. You just type in travel sweepstakes. Again, it's going to depend on your country of residence, which are applicable to you. So just make sure that wherever you live, you're eligible for the sweepstakes. The one thing I will say is they definitely sell your email address, so you will get a ton of spam to that address, whatever you enter in those sweepstakes. I personally have not won any sweepstakes, but I occasionally enter them just because why not? Somebody's got to win, right? It's kind of like the lottery. I mean, I'm not playing it every day, but every once in a while, if I see an interesting travel sweepstakes, I'll throw my spam email address in there where I just don't mind if I get a bunch of spam. And hey, if I win something, I win something. If not, whatever, no big deal. I didn't lose anything. I didn't spend time making a video or something like that. The third great way to travel for free is volunteering. This is one that I hear talked about rarely. Occasionally you'll hear people talk about woofing or workaway, and both of those are, I think, websites or programs where you do a little work on whatever it may be. I think woofing is primarily farms, organic farms. You do a little work in exchange for accommodation and food. Workaway, I think, can be in any type of business. Another great way to volunteer if you're a US citizen is the Peace Corps. When I was young, there used to be Peace Corps commercials on TV all the time, and it was billed as the toughest job you'll ever love. So the Peace Corps send volunteers around the world to help in these developing nations, you know, build water wells or plumbing, or help with some type of infrastructure or whatever these small rural developing countries need help with. And they send people to 60 countries around the world. And a few years back when I was looking into it, I thought you had to be like 22 or something like that, but now it's 18 and older. So there's only a few requirements. You have to be 18 and older. There's no upper limit. So if you're in your 70s or anything like that, you can still volunteer. You have to be a US citizen. And then when I was looking into it, you had to make sure that you had no outstanding debt, or show that your debt was kind of like in forbearance. If you have like student loans or something like that, that it's like you're not leaving behind a bunch of debt. They just don't want people running away from a bunch of outstanding debt. So yeah, Peace Corps, they'll send you all around the world, and basically you're there wherever they send you for a 2-year block, and then you're just helping these local villagers do whatever they need help with. And I'm actually still considering doing the Peace Corps eventually, but that is a great way that I never hear anyone talk about to travel for free, in addition to woofing or workaway and these other type of volunteer programs. Oh, another way that I've seen people volunteer is like a temple, like a Hindu temple or something like that, where you do a little work around the temple. And it doesn't have to be Hindu, I think it can be Buddhist, whatever the arrangement is. And I'm pretty sure you don't have to be a member of that particular religious group that the temple is affiliated with, and you just help clean up or maybe work in the kitchen at the temple, and then you get lodging and food, and then you're free to do your own thing after that. Volunteering, rarely talked about great free way to travel. Another great free way to travel, house sitting. That is actually one of the ways that Sam and I have been able to extend our stay in New Zealand as long as we have, is because we've been employing house sitting, and we've done about 4 or 5 of them. And once you build up a reputation with good reviews, it becomes easier and easier to do. There's websites for different countries around the world, and even like a global one called Trusted House Sitters, I believe. And so, you know, it's just in exchange for watering the plants and maybe watching the dog or cat or whatever pets. I mean, we've seen mini horses and whole farms, chickens and stuff like that. But you just take care of their animals and maybe their plants in exchange for free accommodation. It's a great way to save money and to stay somewhere for free. Another great way to travel for free is by working as a flight attendant or on a cruise ship or on a cargo ship. A lot of people take jobs just so they get free travel. If you work for an airline, oftentimes you get free travel vouchers or discounted travel vouchers, not only for you, but for your family member. A friend of my brother's is a merchant marine. He worked on a cargo ship for several years and saw pretty much all of the country, because once you get to the port, you're there for a while where they offload the port. You don't have any duties, so you're free to roam about in whatever town, country that you're in. So cruise ships, same thing. You do have to work. I think on cruise ships, the hours are pretty bad from what I've heard from people who work on cruise ships. And there's a lot of different things, like if you're a performer, you can do singing, dancing, acting. I know a lot of stand-up comics work on cruise ships. So there's a lot of different opportunities on cruise ships in particular, especially if you're in the entertainment field. Again, you could also be like a cabin boy or I don't know, work in the kitchen or a waiter or something like that. A lot of opportunities on cruise ships to travel for free, and you're getting paid. The next way to travel for free is to hoof it. And this is the old school way of hitchhiking or train hopping or even bike packing, where you're carrying your gear on your bike as opposed to in a backpack. Now, I don't recommend anyone do anything illegal in terms of hitchhiking or hopping trains. It is a way that people have traveled for free for centuries. Again, this is primarily in the US. I don't know what the deal is in other countries with regards to hitchhiking. You know, in New Zealand, it's pretty common. We see people hitchhiking a lot, but I don't know about train hopping, how common it is here. It is pretty common in the US. I mean, I see people online posting videos about train hopping still to this day. Of course, there is a technique to doing it. Again, I'm not advocating you do anything illegal, just letting you know that is a method to travel for free. And then the next component of that would be free accommodations, because the bike packing, hitchhiking, and train hopping will get you somewhere, but then what do? You either camp. There's websites called couch surfing. There's also other alternative sites to couch surfing, such as Be Welcome, Trust Routes, and Moving Worlds. And those are kind of places where you sign up and then people let you crash on their couch for free. Sometimes they even have a whole bedroom that they'll let you stay in for free. And that's just kind of based off of your reputation on the site, if you have any reviews. A good way that I have found on those sites to develop a good reputation is, before you travel, to host people at your place first. So we did that for couch surfing back in LA. We hosted 3 or 4 people. That way we built up our reviews and our reputation. Haven't needed to use that one abroad yet, but we do have, you know, that reputation, those reviews from hosting people. It's a great way to start on those sites. And there is another site called Warm Showers that is specific for cyclists. If you're bike packing, traveling long distance, they offer you a place to take a warm shower, to get clean, and then maybe pitch your tent in their yard. Or I don't really know how it works because I'm not a bike packer, but they might offer like a couch or a bedroom as well, much like couch surfing. I think it's primarily a shower and then like let you pitch your tent in their yard type of thing. The last 3 ways I'm going to talk about to travel for free, I feel like they get talked about a lot, but they don't get explained in depth on what it really requires to do them. A lot of people just say, oh, do these things, and it's real easy to travel for free if you do these things, but they don't give you the full story. And that is, it requires a lot of time and kind of upfront money to get started with these last 3. So the first one is credit card points or miles. You hear a lot of people talk about that, but what they don't tell you is it's been proven by studies that if you use your credit card, you're likely to spend more money than you normally would if you're just paying cash. So I don't recommend the credit card miles thing, because if you're using your card a lot to get points or miles supposedly travel for free, it's actually going to cost you more in the long run than if you just saved up that cash from working a job or selling stuff or whatever it is. So the credit card miles thing, it is a way to do it technically for free, but they've proven that if you're using your credit card a lot, you're more likely to spend more than you normally would. So is it free or is it actually costing you more? That's a great question, I think. So I would avoid that one. It is a way people do it. If you're super disciplined with your spending habits and stuff like that, by all means, credit card points and miles, you're the king of that. But I think the majority of people are not disciplined enough to actually make that a free way to travel. The next way that a lot of people talk about is a passive income source, and so that it's offsetting your costs of travel. And again, that is something that takes a long time to set up and build and grow to the point where you can travel off your passive income. So it's not something you can do immediately, whereas volunteering or something else or hitchhiking or camping, you can do pretty quickly. So yeah, building a passive income stream, it's not a bad idea to set something like that up so that you can grow it even while you're hitchhiking or camping or whatever you're doing to travel, volunteering. If you've got that building up in the background, you can slowly plug away at that over years. Maybe eventually it will offset the cost of your travels. But again, I'm not a personal fan. I've been doing this YouTube channel for 6 years now, and it still does not offset my travel costs. So it takes a long time to build that stuff up. I mean, don't fall for these guys online, these fake gurus that want to sell you their program or on drop shipping or how to make money with a travel blog and make it seem like it's an overnight success, get rich quick scheme. It does not work that way. So again, wouldn't recommend it. People do it, but I personally would not recommend that one. And the last one on this 10 ways to travel for free is working with tourism boards. And again, this is something that takes a long time to set up. You need to have whatever a substantial social media following would be for that particular tourism board, but they offer fam trips, what they're called. They offer familiarity trips or fam trips for people with blogs, or if they're TikTok, Instagram influencers, or they have a YouTube channel with a certain number of followers or something like that. Again, it takes a long time to set that up. And the problem with those type of deals is you're kind of at the mercy of the tourism board. Yes, they will offer you free accommodation. Sometimes they include airfare. They give you, good food and stuff like that, but you're kind of stuck on the pre-programmed tour or trip that they want to show you. So it's a lot harder to get off the beaten path and see the real experience of that particular country. Just keep that in mind. It's a great way to travel for free. I mean, if you're watching this and you have a successful blog or a massive social media following already, you most likely already know about these type of things. And then it's just a matter of contacting the tourism board, whether it be through social media channels or sending them an email or both, and reaching out and say, hey, are you doing any fam trips or anything like that? I will say with the pandemic, most tourism boards have cut back on that sort of thing, and there has been a mild backlash I have seen in New Zealand and other parts of the world for influencers or people with a large following kind of reaching out and asking for free things. So be aware of that. A lot of businesses, a lot of countries, a lot of tourism boards are hurting right now, so it's probably right now is not the best time to be reaching out for free things, but if you don't care about that, by all means, do you. So that is 10 free ways. I'm holding up 5 fingers, but multiply that by 2. Imagine I had 2 hands up. 10 free ways to travel in 2022 and beyond. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit that like button. If you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, get out there, find your adventure, and be infamous. I think they're like mowing down this entire forest over here because it's just non-stop noise. Hopefully it's not affecting the audio. So I happen to be in Queenstown today, and I was trying to shoot in this little forest area over there, and they were just like sawing down tree limbs or something like that. Then they had the wood chipper going, and so the audio was terrible. So now I've retreated down to the lake. So hopefully the audio is not too bad on this. I don't know how to say that word. Familiarity? There we go. Nice, beautiful view on the lake this morning. Just trying to get some videos in before the rain. It rained all night, it's supposed to rain all day, but I noticed there was a little break, and I figured better to film this outside than inside, so.
Infamous.